If you've hit this point in your year where you have fallen way off track with the goals that you set for yourself on December 31st, or maybe you're in a position where you are constantly catching yourself doom scrolling on Instagram, comparing yourself to an influencer that lives this picture perfect life, then what I'm going to share with you in this video is going to support you to get not only back on track, but use the next 7 days, just 1 week, to propel yourself forward and have outrageous success throughout the rest of the year. 5 years ago, I was over $50,000 in debt with no money in the bank. And since then, I have built a $2.5 million company. I've written a best-selling book, and I've supported thousands of women in making their $1 million comeback. So I have zero doubt that if you listen to my advice in this video, you are going to expedite your success and feel like a completely different version of yourself in the next 7 days. And speaking of the word success, one of the first things that I had to do when I was getting my life back on track was challenge what my belief about success and my life path actually looked like versus what I was told by society, by the people around me, my teachers, parents, relatives. So the first thing that I want you to do is ask yourself, what is my actual belief on my life path and what success this year gets to look like for me? I want you to challenge your belief versus society's belief of what your life path should look like. And one of my favorite practices for doing this is going out and seeking expanders. So the first thing that I want you to do, this is a non-negotiable, is find 3 expanders. And expanders are essentially people that are living the lifestyle, have the quality of life, the happiness, the fulfillment that you desire for yourself. Now, what I recommend doing is logging on to Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you scroll, finding these 3 people and making sure that you are following them. So for example, my 3 major expanders right now are my dear friend, Leanne Lopez Mosley, my past mentor, Stephanie Ann Hewson, and the queen of sales, Shelby Sapp. So go find those 3 people that challenge the typical normal life path, but reflect the life path that you desire for yourself. Because when you do, you are going to start to shift the way that you think, what you believe, and the stories that you're even telling yourself about what success can look like. And the really important part about this is that we are always going to be the common denominator of the environment that we are in. And so if your environment is reflecting a different life path than you desire for yourself, of course you're going to feel uncomfortable, out of alignment, and maybe even anxious with where you are at. So the challenge of bringing expanders into your life that model the lifestyle that you desire is really going to set you up so that you are exposed to different ways of thinking, different ways of acting, and different ways of living so that you can start to move into alignment with what is actually true for you. And alignment is one of my favorite words as it relates to personal development and growth, and especially getting your life back on track, because alignment removes obstacles. When you are living out of alignment, that's when it feels like everything is so much harder. It feels like nothing is going your way. You feel anxious. You feel almost like you want to crawl out of your skin. I remember feeling that so often because I knew that I wasn't in the right place for what my soul really desired to do. And so a lot of things would come up for me. I had physical ailments like migraines, cystic acne. I had really, really poor gut health while I was working at my corporate job. My relationships weren't as fulfilling as I wanted them to be. So if you're looking around at your life and you're like, my relationships suck, my health sucks, I don't feel good, my body is screaming at me, I wake up every day tired and just want to get through the day, that is a clear freaking sign that you are out of alignment with your true life path. What you need to focus on then is moving back into alignment, because when you move back into alignment, that is when you will remove the obstacles that are standing in your way. Alignment dissolves obstacles. So the one thing that I want you to take away from this, and I want you to literally grab a pen and paper right now, I want you to write down all of the things that are not aligned with where you want to go in your life. Maybe it's drinking, maybe it's online shopping, maybe it's a certain relationship in your life or habits with food. And I want you to just pick one thing to eliminate over the next 7 days to see how you feel. After that 7 days, check in and ask yourself, what next do I want to remove from my life? Because every time that you remove these things that are out of alignment, you create space for the things that are in alignment to come into your life, removing those obstacles that we talked about. And the final thing that I want you to focus on over these next 7 days is creating your pace. Now, this is something that is so not talked about enough, but really, really important because, again, in the age of social media where people are able to just blow up overnight, it can feel like you are constantly looking around, comparing your pace to somebody else's. I know that I've been guilty of it many, many times. But truly, the best way to live is not to compare your pace to other people, but to create your pace to compete with yourself. When you compete with yourself, there is no comparison, there is only opportunity. So when you look forward over the next several months of this year and life beyond this, what pace do you want to set for yourself? What would feel really good as it relates to a specific goal that you have? So as an example, let's take money. Let's say that you want to save $100,000 in the bank over the next year. What pace do you want to determine for yourself in order to get to that goal? Maybe it is putting aside a couple $1,000s every single month. Maybe it's choosing to put that money into an investment account. There's no right or wrong here, but what setting your pace does gives you a boundary and a container to work towards your goals. When you've got that boundary and container to work towards your goals, then there's no question mark on how it's going to happen. It's literally just following the plan. So a question I have for you is, if you could do one thing every day to take one step closer to the goal that you have, whether it's around money, your health, relationships, your career, what is that one thing that by the end of the year, you know would help you achieve your goal? I want you to write that down and you start doing that thing today. Between these three things of challenging your belief around your life path versus society's belief, choosing alignment to remove the obstacles that have kept you blocked from your life path, and creating a pace that allows for you to make forward momentum towards your goals over the next 7 days, I have zero doubt that you are going to be able to thrive with this structure. And if this video resonated with you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have a ton more videos just like this coming out, and it is my dream to be able to help you choose a life of alignment, purpose, passion, because you are worthy of it. So I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.